How's it going, guys? We're here for this week's Rust update, and there's been quite a few changes. Now, Rust is leaving early access at the 8th. That means there will be a forced blueprint and map wipe. So that means no matter what server you're on, even official servers, this wipe will only be 1 week, as it was a forced wipe this week as well, to add in the new changes to military tunnels, which we're about to look at, the well monument, and some new topology. What new topology basically means is you're going to be seeing a lot more cliffs and peaks and rock clumps, and you can see just from here there's a lot more cliffs and stuff. So that's something that kind of just disappeared, and it's kind of nice to see it back. It definitely gives ways to kind of hide yourself a little bit more. You also see they are still working on some of the new trees, as you can see in the pictures we have here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the military tunnels. Now, they have gotten quite the upgrade. I mean, just this alone here is a big deal of change. Let's go ahead and put a flashlight on our gun so we can see a little bit better. And there you go. Now, the scientists are in here. They've worked on them a little bit more, where they work on patrols, and they also take cover. They know how to shoot through things like chain link. They can open doors. So that's actually some pretty cool stuff. Now, the scientists still haven't made it in, and that's just because they made these recent changes to the military tunnel and the cover system and the doors and such. We'll see if any of them actually open a door in front of us. Actually, oh, that was interesting. We had a couple boxes inside of a box here. Anywho, that urge to loot, you can't not do it. But yeah, military tunnels is quite different, and it's really cool. You got some searchlights going on. This is incredible. Also, as you can see, they aren't getting stuck in places as much, which is really good. A lot of them are clipping through the floors, shooting through walls, and for the most part, I think they have that fixed. So that's actually really cool. You can see, look, they were transporting a rocket here. Like, they really did a good job with this empty space that had nothing going on with it. I mean, if you can go ahead and hop up onto here, you can actually creep through a little hole here, which is kind of neat, and get to the other side. It's much more dynamic. The loot, you know, has more areas. Everything's kind of labeled, so shelter 4 and storage. Like, it's really cool. They've done some nice work with this area here. And, yeah, the military crates are still here, as you would expect. Or the elite crates, as they're properly titled. And they're just kind of inside, like, the environment in this area. And it's really nice. Like, they honestly did a stand-up job on this area. It looks and feels so much better. Section R. How'd you get up there? Yeah, you can scoot all the way down to here, of course, where that one ends. That's pretty much kind of where the detail ends. And then, of course, on this side, it's all clumped up. You can get back here. And there's these crazy radioactive barrels that look awesome. I love the way these look. I hope we see them around more. That would definitely be really cool. Here's the laboratory. Nope. Our clip is empty. You got some more loot crates in here. So, I mean, the layout stayed pretty much exactly the same. But there's just all these sweet little details to the main part. and I think they did a really awesome job. I just really love these barrels. Like, here, let's turn off that flashlight. Like, look at that. That's awesome. I love that glow. Yeah, it's altogether pretty sweet. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and take a look at one of the new monuments, which is the wells, and we'll be right back. God damn it. Alright guys, so this is one of the many well monuments. As you can see, a tip is also popping up on my screen. There is more tips now, and there is, I believe, 60 achievements added. So a lot of people got really annoyed because, you know, you have like 4,000 or 5,000 hours, you don't want to see this. Well, if you go over to your options, there is a show game tips option, and you can just turn it off right there. So that is nice and simple. Now, all these wall monuments can be completely different. A lot of them have been made to look like made out of bed. Look at this railing. Why don't we have railings that we can actually build? But anyways, as I was saying, a lot of them look like abandoned bases. Once you get up to the well, this is where the water is going to be. And I believe, oh, where it is, pump. Now, pumping, it makes you lose 6 calories each time, so you do get hungry pumping water, so do keep an eye on that right there. And now you've got some water, and you can go fill your bucket up, fill your water jug, whatever. Boom, 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 there we go, we got some water. So, yeah, I think these things are pretty cool, and it's a neat little thing. They don't take up too much space. Now, the real question is, how close can you build to them? And let's take a look-see. So, I mean, you could definitely wall one in if you wanted to. That's pretty close, I would say. Oh, wow, achievement, collect 700 wood. Interesting. All the achievements are popping. Yeah, that's pretty much the wells, guys. They're going to all look kind of a little bit different, which is neat. Now, as you'll see, pillars are gone, guys. They were just an extra expense as far as the team was concerned, and yeah, they're kaput, gone forever. Now, in return for your wow, that's what counts as constructing a base. For your stability, the wall frames now give as much stability as a wall or door frame would. Now, the goal here is, which was kind of come up, it was one of those things that came together on Reddit between people and the team, which is a very rare thing because most of the time all of you people on Reddit are telling the team to go kill themselves. But there was some constructive criticism for once, and it's going to be put to where if you're stacking frames like this, this middle piece right here is going to disappear for aesthetic purposes. So that's kind of there to kind of, you know, lighten the blow of the aesthetic missing from having pillars and making fancy balconies and stuff, and that's kind of the thing there. So, you know, that still has the functionality and has a little bit of a look to it as well, which is pretty nice. Now, also, the one thing I'm super excited for is the chainsaw. Of course, you saw in the title and the thumbnail. As you can see, it is getting animated, and it looks really awesome with this current model. I can't wait to see it in game. The chainsaws is something that looks super awesome. But that pretty much wraps it up for stuff in the game right now. We'll see some more changes that are worth a force wipe on the 8th, so do keep that in mind. There are a lot of patch notes actually to check out on performance. They've done quite a bit. If you've noticed when you drive a vehicle, if you've had the if you have your own server, or if you've had the pleasure of being able to play around with one, you'll notice that they just have this crazy latency to them, and they're really laggy, and that's something they have reduced greatly. That also affects many other things in the game. They also found a memory leak related to EAC that has been taken care of and is significantly improved performance for a lot of people on lower end machines for RAM usage, which is a really great thing. They're also working on a lot of other little fixes, so go ahead and check that stuff out down in the dev blog, which will be down in my description below. Also, Min Lee, or Goose as some may know him, is moving on to some other projects, and I believe moving back home to the Orient, as they put it. And he's going to be leaving the Face Punch team to pursue other goals in his life. And it's kind of a sad moment because Min Lee has done a great amount of work on this game over the past 4 years, and is just an awesome person. And, you know, everyone has their different steps to their life. They're moving on. So, you know, if you appreciated his work, go drop by Reddit, leave a nice message and say, thanks for everything you did at Rust. Hope you have the best in your future endeavors, etc., etc. Because everyone on the Rust team are a bunch of really awesome people. And there's some crazy dedication, and they just don't get the nice words that they deserve for it. So, guys, go ahead and do that. If you're as kind as well, if you could leave me a like, share this video with your friends, and go ahead and check off that bell notification on YouTube if you haven't already, because that is the only reliable way to get notifications about new videos now. I do these videos every week or whenever there's news worth covering on Rust. That will be changing, of course, here in the future with the monthly updates, but possibly daily commitments. So whenever something interesting happens, I will pop a little video up if I can. Tune in for that skin video, which, of course, is every week, and we'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great one.